This is a special edition of Extensive Chat. My name is Nana Kwesi, and today we are exploring Washington, D.C. in United States of America. What comes to mind when Washington, D.C. comes to your mind? I know this is the capital of the United States of America, so we are here to explore. This is a rush hour. This is the time. It's about 5:22 p.m. here, and a lot of people have just closed from work. They're on their way back to their various homes. So you see that the streets are packed with people. Cars are busy on the road, traffic here and there. And we are exploring the United States of America, specifically Washington, D.C. So we'll take you to some interesting places that you get to know and get to see here. My name is Nana Kwesi, and this is the special edition of Extensive Chat. We have no idea what's going on, but I believe there's some sort of protest or something. We need to know what is going on. So we'll speak to some people here that we could. Until then, this is Extensive Chat. We shall overcome someday. So I see agape love, I see diversity, smiles, I see justice, honor, and hope placards. So we are wondering what exactly is going on here. We want to know from some of the people we get to speak to here. Mercy, I see another placard. Mercy, hope. Witness is a protest against the government. People are calling for free press. A lot of people just told me that they are not impressed with the attack on the press now. Behind me is the seat of government of America, the White House. This is where the president lives and works. So you could see right behind me. Hitherto you would have gotten closer to where the White House is, but because of the protest, the police are here and there are a lot of barricades really stopping people from getting closer. You saw the placards, people are saying free press, the attack on our press and all that. So they just needed to really bring the barricade here to stop a lot of people from getting closer. This is the White House, the seat of government of America. In Ghana, it's the Flagstaff House. In Nigeria, is Aso Rock and other places. There are a lot of names given to their seat of government. This is the White House. This is where President Trump works and lives. So one thing you could know about the White House is that per second, every second, there are lots of people here to really take pictures. It's sort of a tourist site for many people who travel here. So we are observing and looking at the White House. This is the seat of government of America. Washington, D.C., the capital of America. You can see the tall rice buildings here. Behind me is the U.S. Treasury Department, the White House, and you can see some interesting places here. We're exploring Washington, D.C. And this is Washington, D.C. Some interesting places here. This is a busy time, so you can see that a lot of people are on the streets, some from work, others going to work, others in traffic and all. It's an interesting journey. Be with me on this. This is Extensive Chat. This is the street behind White House, one of the busy streets in Washington, D.C. This is the Treasury Department of the United States of America, and no access to enter into this. So you could see some restrictions: pass holders and appointments only. Do not enter, authorized entry only. There's another view from the White House. It's closer to the White House. It's the next building to the White House, the U.S. State Department of Treasury. I've been to about 2 states yet, and one thing you find is every state have got their paraphernalia In Atlanta, you see on the streets there are lots of T-shirts advertising Atlanta, and in Washington DC you see same. And these are the places that you come and you really feel patriotism. Everywhere you will see the flag of the United States of America. Almost every shop displays the flag of the United States of America. So this is the street of Washington DC, close to the White House, and we're exploring Washington DC, the capital of the United States.
Yeah. I used it at the Lincoln Memorial. We are now near White House.
One of the things that is being told about Washington is take a look at the cars. You see all the plush and the posh cars here. Every latest car in the world could be found here in Washington, D.C. Nice way of street vending.
They were not allowed to sing. Why? How do you think about it?
Still exploring Washington, D.C. This is Extensive Chat. My name is Nana Kwesi Kunz. I'm here with Jordan. Jordan, what's interesting about this place?
So right now we're still on the National Mall Strip and we're at the World War II Memorial.
World War II Memorial.
Yeah, so if you have a look at the memorial, you see there's different wreaths all around it, right? And each of those wreaths acknowledges one of the states that obviously contributed in the war. So there's 50 wreaths that stretch all the way around the memorial. And you see there's a pillar there that says Pacific. You can see it says Pacific, and there's one across from it that says Atlantic. And of course, those represent the two different fronts in the war, right? There was the war in the Pacific Ocean and of course in the Atlantic. So the European campaign and the Japanese campaign, both of which American soldiers fought in.
So this is the World War II
Memorial.
Memorial.
Yeah. And around this space there are other memorials. So just down there is the Korean War Memorial, and what you also might try and see is the Vietnam War Memorial, which is quite inspiring because it's got the names of every soldier that died in Vietnam.
Every soldier.
Yeah, it's all inscribed on that memorial. So that's quite an intense one.
Let me bomb this picture.
Alright, come closer. Come closer. Every day, come. Let's take a video. Please come. So,
Media people.
what has been your impression? Introduce yourself to the people.
Hey guys, my name is Adi. I'm from Ghana and I'm a police officer where I deal with cybercrime and everything that has to do with cyber.
So what has been your impression since you're on the Mandela Washington Fellowship 2018? And what has been your impression about Washington DC so far?
Alright, so I was originally posted to sent to Arizona State University where I spent the last 5 weeks. Coming to Washington DC has been fun, where I missed most parts of the summit. Okay, anytime for summits, I kind of kindly run out of the summit to come around and hang out. And so far, I think it's really a good place. This is the capital, and I'm having so much fun!
This is like the Abraham Lincoln Memorial Center, and this is a huge statue in honor of him. We are here to explore what exactly has been here, and you can see there's a very big, gigantic building that really tells you a lot about Abraham Lincoln. We are going in, and every corner that matters to really see what happens there. This is the Abraham Lincoln Center. My name is Alan. This is expensive. This is a must be for everybody. So this is a bookstore where you can find everything about Abraham Lincoln and other presidents. Interesting. World Bank, the headquarters of the World Bank. This is where most of our government get their loans from. This is a big deal for most of the politicians. The World Bank group. This is the headquarters of the World Bank in Washington, D.C. So you could see the World Bank clearly from here. This is the headquarters of the World Bank group. You could see it from here. This is the gigantic building that house the World Bank group. Very big deal. Coalition of more countries coming together to form a World Bank. And this is where you see it, right from here. This gigantic president of the United States of America. Earlier, we showed you what was happening.
Well, my baby went to Illinois with some bad-talking boy she could destroy. A real suicide case. But there was nothing I could do to stop it. I don't care about the economy. I don't care about astronomy. But it sure do bother me to see my loved ones turning into puppets. There's a slow train coming up around the bend.
Decorated with palms, oak leaf clusters, and stars, they represent more than 400 awards and campaigns of the United States Marines. It is the privilege of Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C. to be entrusted with the custody of this battle color. Mall. The Sunset Parade you are about to witness is conducted each Tuesday during the summer through the 14th of August in cooperation with the National Park Service. Present-day parades in the Marine Corps have their basis in both history and tradition. The massed formation of troops on one long line at close interval made possible the massing of firepower from muzzle-loaded muskets of the past. The adjutant forms the line of battle. And in those early days, that line consisted of 2 or 3 ranks, much like the parade formation you will see during our ceremony this evening. Tonight's parade celebrates the pride, professionalism, and esprit de corps that are hallmarks of the oldest post and the Marines who have distinguished these hallowed grounds of our nation's capital for 7 decades. They represent all Marines around the globe who embody our Corps' values of honor, courage, and commitment. Ceremony with a performance by the United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps. Formed in 1934 and known as the Commandant's Own, the unit celebrates over 8 decades of marching and musical excellence while carrying the distinction of being the only active duty drum and bugle corps currently serving in the United States Armed Forces. The unit will open with Hans Zimmer's moving music from the film Angels and Demons entitled 160 BPM. followed by a ballad composed by Knights of Moore and Arne Anderson entitled Farewell Life. The unit will then return to the music of Hans Zimmer, featuring Barbarian Horde from his score to the motion picture The Gladiator. Music in Motion 2018 will close with John Philip Sousa's most famous composition and America's national march, The Stars and Stripes Forever. Ladies and gentlemen, Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C. is proud to present the Commandant Zone, the United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps.
This is where we bring the end of this journey. But to me here, I'm still enjoying this history of America, the rich history of the United States of America. We hope you enjoyed this. We took you to the White House, to the World War II Memorial Center, to Abraham Lincoln.